Check one, two, two, roll. So so what's with the Floyd? So in some respect, I consider this place, this mobile home park, concentration caravans, and it was a fairly convincing joke, indecent, yes, but fairly convincing, and fairly humorous in some sort of disrespect. There was some sort of humorous. It was an indecent, disrespectful joke, I suppose. Concentration caravan park. Yes, this is a concentration camp for something of a captain's quarters or COs of some sort. Says owned by the slumlord and things, or what. So that was one portion I wanted to check in with. What's with the Floyd? And so the second portion was the military. Military representatives approached me as my own person and informed me that they'd like to play into me being a part of World War III since the 9/11 2001s. When I first saw it on the TV after St. James Soup Kitchen at Sarge's Comics, and boarded a nuclear submersible as a refugee, with Gramps or with Grandpa and Co., with Silva and Co., only to resurface hundreds of days later in the Hudson of New York's after the Marianas Trench, hiding with Navy admirals, the Long Island Sound Underwater Research Facility, all sorts of things like that. Say, hundreds of days house missing. And where was I? Not the sewer under State Street or Bank Street, but on a submarine. And since then, in 2002 through say 2008, I was doing the life-saving EMS in most walks: PD, fire, medic, junior Coast Guard, junior Navy, BSA, and more. And from 2006 to 2018, I was still in communications, doing Green Party DEP-esque communications within vicinity of Fort Trumbull Nuclear Submersible Parking Space. From that area to USA, wherever it was, in it is to the best of my ability, suppose. And then only this past 400 days have I been 15 minutes further from the 15-minute trek to Fort Trumbull Nuclear Submarine Parking Spot, Fort Trumbull State Park, possible inspiration for the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. I looked at my other friends that were in Soldier. Hey, I know you. You were in Soldier. Um, and they get their pin badges and their bars and their medals and things for confirmed kills. And I figure probably 800 in 2 decades is a decent estimate. So we'll take 800 and kind of dumb it down a little bit. Is it isn't 2001 to 2021, or more like January 2002 to January 2022. It's not quite January 2022, but they figured that I should be playing into and maybe kind of play into the little flag on my next ID, my state ID upgrade, that the military professionals and administrations were hoping to reimburse me for my strife, my famine, my and something loss of loved ones, and from the WW3 starting the D-Day of 2001, September 11th until present day, or January 2022. Or when I get my new identification card, they're hoping to put a little American flag on it, proclaim me as a veteran, and pay me handsomely, as if I was a nuclear submersible crew member from 1990 to 2003, with my grandpa, former highly decorated Navyman, and presidential on-call advisor. Is his name and number would be in the Oval Office Rolodex for about a half a century, since he journeyed from New London to China and back again during World War II at the shy age of, say, 18 or 19 or 20. So after close to 12 weeks training rather than 12 years in masters of schools and boot camps of all sorts and walks. And he was in the Navy from World War II until he passed away in 2003, and he was bringing me up as a big blue bear, 1990 to 2003. And from 2003 to 2008, I did my best, and thankfully I had another second shift to fall back on, communications from 2006 to present day. And I've been resistant to their arms, most all while my entire existence. On the other hand, I've been notably accelerated in hand to hands, such as boxing, which I picked up at the age of 5 after the submarine private tutors in the age of 4. I picked up boxing, a sport, at the age of 5. And considering my physical strength, that was the third point I wanted to get into. You'll notice I might be a little bit jiggly in the muscles today. I lifted well over 8,000 pounds, not in a single, more like 300 pounds times 24, or something about 400 pounds times 24. I eyeballed it in the dark last night, and it looked like 800 by 12, but it was more like 400 by 24. Um, and carried it about 45 feet and set it down, stacked it politely. And so I got that done in an hour 20 minutes. 30 minutes I got half of it, and then another the remainder of an hour, 20 minutes. I got half it done in half an hour, and the rest of it took a little bit longer, say 40 minutes, 50 minutes for the rest of it, so, or something similar. So it was a total of an hour and a half work, and a total of 10,000 pounds, as just about. We kind of pushed down the back of a Ford F-150 flatbed, two-door. So the so there were those few points. Number one was what's with the Floyd? Well, Concentration Caravan Park. Number two was I wanted to bring up that the military was trying to issue me a Class A decorated with something similar to 800 confirmed kills as a Navy SEAL, a boxer of sorts, bare knuckle to the death, suppose, as well as a submersible crew member, or a submersible. He would learn from crew member to be like a a backup in some sort of position as far as working the boat, or some sort of officer of submarine something. So with the 800 confirmed kills in 2 decades. And then thirdly, I wanted to check in regards to the last segment posted that well, I was an hour late. I woke up at 7:50 a.m. I got to work at 9:30 instead of 8:30. Received instructions within that 5 minutes, and then was all done in about an hour and a half. I got the job done good, and so I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of a rest in, and after I review this footage, it's at 7:40. One check.